This episode is sponsored by Bo's Garage. And make sure you follow Chillin' and Vibing Podcast on all platforms. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We just chillin' and vibing. Good conversations with good people. Oh. Good conversations with good people. Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. This your boy Larry. And I'm chilling and vibing with platinum selling producer, Dove Award nominated, NAACP Image Award nominated, KP. What's going
Yo,
on, man?
yo, what's happening, my boy?
Not much, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I know you busy.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so KB, man, where you from?
I'm from Florida, from Tampa, Florida.
Man, I was down there about 2 years ago, man. I actually met Tom Brady.
Oh, nice, nice. The GOAT. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Tom, Leonard Fournette, and Rob got to be around. Whoever
Okay. Yeah,
Tom, man.
yeah. He gonna be somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was a crypto event, or NFT event,
Okay.
and I had got one of his NFTs, and
Where at? You
I
remember
got
where?
called on stage.
You remember where? Like where the event was at?
It was like right there by the water, man. I don't remember the exact place,
Okay.
but it was like right there by the river, though, like walking
Okay.
distance.
Okay. That's what's up.
It was like in a little plaza. Like they had a lot of stuff going on, man.
Yeah.
But it was pretty dope though, man. Got to meet him. He called my name on stage. That was a dope experience, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So you say you from Florida?
Yeah, yeah. I'm from Florida, man.
So you Jazz
Nah, I'm a Bucks fan. I'm a Bucks fan.
Bucks? That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's
yeah,
up.
of
'Cause, like,
course.
some people be from one area, but they're a fan of another.
Nah, I'm a diehard Bucks fan, man. For real, for real.
How was
So
that feeling, man, when y'all won the Super Bowl that year with Tom Brady?
man, long time coming, man. I remember we won the first Super Bowl. I remember I was in high school, man. I skipped school and everything the just to be by the stadium, just to take it in. There ain't want nobody even out there, but I just did it just to do it. But yeah, I'm a big Bucks fan. But as far as with Brady, it was just he saw what we had. We needed a quarterback, and we had the pieces in place. We just didn't have a quarterback and a couple other pieces that came with him. You know what I mean? But it felt amazing. You know, I wasn't able to celebrate and go to the actual Super Bowl because the Super Bowl was in Tampa that year. I didn't get a chance to go, man. My son was born. My no, my lady was pregnant, and yeah, so I didn't get a chance to go. So, yeah, but I celebrated hard though.
Yeah, man, I remember that because I had a coworker. He is a big Tampa fan too. And man, you couldn't tell him nothing, man. Shout out to Apollo.
Yeah, man, you couldn't tell me nothing that year, but I was hyped.
So KP, man, how did the music journey start?
Man, I always wanted to be in the music industry. You know, I feel like a lot of people in the industry, if you talk to them, they all started out wanting to do one thing and end up pivoting to something else. For me, I wanted to be a rapper when I was a kid, um, and once I started getting old, I realized like rapping wasn't for me, but I always wanted to be in the music industry. But production kind of fell in my lap. Like it wasn't something I wanted to do. It just kind of fell in my lap. I always tell the story of me dating my ex and me finding out that she was with someone, messing around with someone else. One of my boys called me like, "Yo, come to the crib, get your mind off her, just play with this program on the computer." And that program ended up being FL Studio, and I had so much fun. It took my mind off of what was going on. I went home, and I just never stopped playing around with it. And next thing you know, I was like, not even a year, 2 years, and like maybe like a week later, I was like, I know what I want to do. And that's when it started. I was 19 years old, 2004.
It's crazy. You told me that story. Sometimes you got to flex in your ex.
Yeah,
You flexing
yeah,
now.
yeah. It was something that I was like, God took what was supposed to hurt me and be for harm, and it turned around and been in my favor. You know what I mean? So it was a blessing at the end of the day. She see it, you know. It's all good. It's all love.
Man, you know what's crazy is I went through that same thing, man.
Hmm.
My ex, she cheated on me, and I had need an outlet, because I mean, I was hurt,
Hmm.
and I had needed somebody to talk to. So I said, why not create my own podcast to talk to everybody? And that how chilling and vibing. Like after that hurt, I said I'm just
Hmm.
chilling and vibing.
Yeah.
I ain't
You
got time.
got,
I'm gonna focus on self.
yeah, man, you got some people that dwell in it and just be like, why me? Why me? And they go through all this different stuff. And you got some people that just turn that pain into something else that's bigger than them. And those are the people that end up becoming successful and doing big things because they don't let, we all gonna be hurt, we all gonna be sad, we all gonna go through a lot of things in life. And if you let these things deter you, like, and move you away from what you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying, you always gonna be caught up and falling behind on something. So yeah, I took that. That was one of my first of many lessons, you know what I'm saying? Like, can't let this get to me, and ended up being a blessing for me.
Yeah, man. The same. I swear, same, man. I look at it the same way, man. I look back now at it, I'm like, wow. And like she see it, she see like I'm chilling and vibing. Even
Hmm.
her cousin, like he hit me up. He like, man, yo, I see you, man. Keep doing you.
When you get to a point where it's you're not even thinking about them. What started out because of them, later on you're not. I'm not even. I'm doing way bigger things. It ain't even about you no more.
So KP, like, who was the first big music artist that you had produced for?
See, big. That depends on who you asking. For me, who was big to me was Pastor Troy. That was my first big artist that I worked with, and it was my first big lesson at the same time as well. Yeah, I'm very transparent, so I don't care. I'll tell it how it is. But it was my first lesson, but it was my first big artist. Yes,
So like, at what age did you start like really taking it serious?
the day I started, because I grew up playing basketball and I was really good at basketball, and a lot of people thought I was gonna go to college, and there was expectations from my family that I was gonna go to college. So when I put that down to do music, it was an expectation of you need to do something with your life. You know what I mean? And the moment I started, it was like, how can I feed myself off of this? Because I don't have a degree. I didn't go to college. I don't have no degree. I don't have none of this stuff. So I have to be successful at this. So from day one is when I took it seriously.
So your ties with Nipsey Hussle, man. How did y'all link up?
My homegirl, Sarah J. This was 2020, yeah, around 2012, 2013 or so. She hit me up, and maybe like 2011, maybe. I don't remember. It was before the album dropped. She hit me up and said, hey, I need some beats for Nipsey. I didn't send. I sent her some beats, and then my old partner had sent her some beats, and then she hit me back and said Nipsey wanted to put this on his album called, at the time, Crenshaw was supposed to be called Victory Lap. But he ended up changing it to Crenshaw, and then he said he wanted to put it on that, and we was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And I didn't think nothing of it because Nipsey kind of wasn't really popping at the time, so I didn't think nothing of it. And when he started promoting the album and started saying he was going to charge $100 for it, and then he started getting a lot of support from the media, that's when I realized, like, this is a big deal. This is, once I saw, Jay-Z come in and buy copies, and Eminem, and that's when I was like, oh, this is a big deal. And then, it was, it ended up doing a lot for my career at the time, and then when he passed away, it did even more because a lot more people started, I can't do an interview now without talking about it. But before, it was like nobody was really asking me about Nip, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that was my homegirl Sarah J. She's the one that made the connection.
I saw Pastor Mike, man, gave you a shout out for your
Yeah.
birthday. You had went to church, man. How you and Pastor Mike link up?
Pastor Mike, let's see. That's my boy, man. That's a very long story, but to keep it simple, I have to shout out my homegirl Elise Hillman. We were trading gospel. I have to tell the whole story to make it sound right. So we were trading gospel playlists, and this was over the pandemic, and we had nothing else to do. And I heard his song Big, and I said, man, this dude is kind of dope. I listen to gospel all the time. So fast forward, I put him on my playlist. I go to LA like a year later, and one of the producers I'm working with, D-Lo, was working with him as well. And then I was like, oh, he working with that dude that I play on my playlist. I said, so let me go ahead and reach out to him. And I just reached out to him. Hey, can I send you some beats? He said, yeah, gave me his email, and I sent him what was already on my computer, and he didn't respond, and I knew what time it was. I was like, okay, he ain't feeling these. Let me go ahead and just start handcrafting some stuff just for him. And it took me like 2 weeks. I connected with my boy JJ, connected with a bunch of different people, different producers, and we just started collaborating. And I just started flooding his email, and then the first one I sent him was the one that came out. It was called So Good, and ever since then we've been locked in, but yeah, it was just I've always wanted to get into the gospel field, and it's really hard to get into gospel because they got close knit circles and some people not letting you in. And little did I know he was just getting started, and he's kind of still building that circle, and it kind of worked out for both of us, you know what I mean? So yeah, we did the record, and it's one of my favorite records to this day.
Yeah, man. I remember listening to Mike, Pastor Mike, at the gym, and I just, you know what I'm saying, working out, and I like, yo, this dude dope. And
Yeah.
it's crazy how, things turn around full circle. You was one of the dudes that produced one of his songs.
Yeah, man, Mike's amazing. He's an amazing person, amazing artist. Just a great to talk to, man. So I don't look at him as this pastor or nothing like that. I look at him as one of my homies that do music. You know what I'm saying? He just got the ability to speak to people and speak over people's lives and stuff. But he's amazing, man.
And you grew up playing NBA Live?
Of course.
Man, they had this guy, man, number 15 from Toronto. He played for the Raptors. Vince Carter, man. I see that's one of your homies.
Yeah, that's my brother, man, for real. Yeah.
So how you and Vince link up, man?
One of our homies, Rod, my boy Rod, was doing music at the time, and my old engineer, Mr. B, he was playing some of my beats in the studio. This was 2010 or so, playing some beats of mine in the studio, and they was really feeling the beats, and they wanted to get in contact with me, and uh, Rod hit me up. Funny story, Rod hit me up. I did business with Rod. He asked me to go to the studio. I show up to the studio, but not knowing it was going to be at Vince's house. And then I didn't find out till that day and got over there, and it was Vince's crib. And I was going through a lot at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really care to be over there. It was just a business move for me, but it ended up being one of the best moves because they was making me laugh. They made me forget about what I was going through. That was the most important thing for me because at the time I didn't have like a circle of friends, and now because of them two, I got a circle of friends. So it ended up becoming some love just because of music, and then it just grew into something a brotherhood, But it started because of music though.
I was watching one of Vince clips, man, and when he was giving his speech, and he said, man, I love y'all like brothers, man. Y'all my brothers. And I appreciate y'all for not being yes men. That right there hit me.
Yeah, that was the Hall of Fame speech. Yeah, yeah, we
Yeah.
was there. We was there, sitting there, cheering them on, just like we do all of our boys. You know what I'm saying? We make sure we clap for each other, and we was there. Some of them know Vince since second grade, third grade. Some of us met him little later on. Some of them knew him since high school. But regardless, we all love him. You know what I'm saying? And we proud of him. But yeah, that was a really good moment. I didn't think I was gonna get my name dropped in the Hall of Fame speech though, so that was pretty dope.
Yeah, man. Be in attendance of that. And Vince, and sheesh. Hey, yo, Vince, man, hey, you're more than welcome to come chill and vibe, bro. Oh yeah, that was dope though, man. Like when he had won that dunk contest, boy.
Yeah, yeah, that was they just celebrated that the 25th year anniversary of that. They just celebrated that at the dunk contest this past All-Star weekend. So that was pretty dope because I remember, but I didn't know him then, but I remember being at home watching that and just being amazed, and now, I consider him family, and now my outlook is totally different now, so not different as far as the dunk contest, but I look at it differently now, like, dang, that's my brother up there doing that, you know what I mean? So yeah.
But, I saw you had a couple of pictures with Drake, man. Drake and Buster. How did
Hmm.
you meet Drake?
That was because of Vince. When they retired his jersey in Toronto, I knew Drake was gonna be there because of the whole, it's big for Toronto. What Vince means to Toronto, I knew Drake was gonna be there. And we had access. Toronto gave all the friends and family, that are in attendance access passes to get anywhere in the building we wanted to. So I just had a feeling that Drake was gonna be there, so I was prepared. I had a flash drive with some beats on it, and I waited for my moment. He was just down there chilling. Like, so one of my boys, one of our boys that's cool with Drake as well, said, he'll probably be there with no security because it's not the same as him coming to the U.S. And it's gonna be flooded with security, so you'll be able to just walk up to him. Because I'm like, am I gonna be able to get up to him to get on these beats? He's like, nah, you good. And that's exactly what happened. He was backstage with us, chilling, literally like just right next to me. And as soon as he finished talking to Vince, you know what I'm saying, I just walked up on him, talked to him. We took a picture, gave him some beats. I talked to Chubbs, his man, gave him some beats as well, but yeah, that's pretty much how it happened because of Vince. I was back there, and then
Drake home, man.
Bust,
That's like, you know what I'm saying, you being in Tampa, you know what I'm saying, you know everybody. You know what I'm saying, you
yeah,
good. You good in the
yeah,
city.
yeah. Yeah, he just had Chubbs with him, and that was it. No security, no nothing. He was back there just vibing, chilling and vibing. You know what I mean? So it was easy. Just walked up on him and just gave it to him. You know what I mean? Pause. So that's what it was.
Um, October London, man. I just now really found out about him, man, and I see you produce this whole album.
Yes, October, man. It's been a long time coming with us. I met October. I found out about October through Jazzy Faye back in like 2015 or so, and he told me about October. And I had been trying to get in contact with him and everything. And we started working around 2019, 2020, right around the pandemic time. Everything was shut down, which I gotta say was the greatest time ever as far as like working because everybody was at home. There was no excuses not to work. So we did a lot of work together. But once the world opened back up, we kind of lost contact for a while. And then we got back in contact and we started talking about working and doing other projects. So with this project, he just kind of just hit me up saying, "Hey, do you have one for this project I'm doing with Trip Cambridge?" I said, "Yeah, I got you." And it ended up coming out amazing. He says, "You got another one?" Yeah. And he said, "You want to do the whole project?" Yep. And we did it within 2 weeks or so. And that's just how it came about. He works really fast. He's a hard worker. So, and I work hard too. So, and I work fast. So, however fast he trying to go, I can move at that same speed. So, yeah, we got it done.
Yeah, man. I see you keep showing up, man. You keep showing up. The name, the colleagues come about.
I used to have a partner when I first started, and we were doing beats together, and I said, "Yo, we doing a lot of dope stuff together. We might as well just come up with a name and just be a group." And he was kind of doing this thing more. I'm a rookie at this point, and he's kind of a little more seasoned than me. But I came up with the name and I said the colleagues, and then it ended up not working out at all. But I said I wanted to keep the name, and I kept the name because I knew I wanted to build this into a group. I looked up to producers like Justice League and the business and all these other producers. So I was like, I want a group name, and I eventually got a group, and it was like three of us. But year after year, like little reasons, people would just drop off, you know what I mean? And I still all love with them too. Like I still talk to them, but I kept the name because at the end of the day, I'm always working with somebody. I'm always working with another producer. I'm always working with another musician. So I just kept the name as the colleagues because I don't like getting singular credit. I don't like people just being like, KP did this, KP did this. I'm like, it makes me feel better when I hear a group name. So I just kept it as the colleagues. When there are people that's come, if I ever find out, fine. If I ever find some other people to come along, then they'll just join the team. It's a team effort.
I see you got a
Yeah.
couple of billboards back there too, man. Who you got back there by?
I got the Nipsey, of course. That didn't chart until after he passed away. So I wasn't even gonna get that to be honest with you. So cause I know he's gonna say something. Vince was the one that told me to get it. We was driving in the car and I saw that it charted, and I was like, I feel bad getting it because I know it charted because he passed away because everybody was streaming his music like crazy. He's like, this is a legendary. This is legendary to be a part of his history. You might as well just get it. And he did, he was right. I went ahead and got it, and it's one of them ones that if I ever have contractors at the house, anybody who come through have to come through in this room. They talking about it. Let's see. I got my first gold plaque right there. That's a K-pop record with Red Velvet, and then the platinum one is right next to it. That's Red Velvet as well. I got Raheem Devon up there. That's my first number one in the R&B. That's my brother. Shout out to him. And I got Pastor Mike over there. Yeah, and then I got some over here that you can't see on camera. Got a Starlito and another Red Velvet. So yeah, man. Got my Dove Award
You know, I didn't even
nomination.
know K-pop was that popular though, man.
Yeah, and I did it at a time when it wasn't as popular as it is now. I got introduced to K-pop in 2016. I had no clue what it was, and then they flew us out to Korea, and that's when I realized how big of a deal. I was like, oh, they doing stadiums out here, and we don't even know who they are in the U.S. And that's when I realized like there's a lot of money in the K-pop, and it just started leaking over here little bit by little. Now there's all kind of people over here that love K-pop. It was a big deal. K-pop is a big deal, and I'm glad that it's getting the recognition that it's getting.
Yeah, my daughter put me on Blackpink. I
Yeah,
didn't know who
Blackpink.
Blackpink was. I like Blackpink, and I'm like Blackpink. I had listened to him, and I was like, oh, okay. And yeah, that's how I
Yeah,
got connected to him, man. I just started listening to him more, and I was like, wow. And I see how many streams they got. I'm like billions.
they
Wow.
doing numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these groups are doing numbers. So it opened up my mind. K-pop changed how I produce because they're very picky. They know what they want, and it teaches you to get stuff right on the first time, second time. So it changed my work ethic, but it changed my how I look at everything. And everything isn't about us as far as the U.S. goes. People out there that's doing Drake type numbers and doing these big numbers that we've never heard of that's out of the country. And just because you're something over here don't mean you're something outside in all these other countries and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It showed me that I need to start expanding and just really just trying to not just think about the US. And yeah, it was a game changer.
Yeah, man. I did traveling with work, you know what I'm saying, a couple years ago. I went to Singapore, and that changed my whole life, man. It's a whole different ball game over there. I'm like when I say clean, I'm gonna tell you a story, man. I went over there and I was working. So before work, we went to Starbucks. Got to work. I'm like, man, I don't know where my wallet at. So we leave, go back to the hotel, and I'm looking around the hotel. Went back to Starbucks. They had my wallet in a Ziploc bag. I told them what my name was. They said, "Here you go, Larry."
Wow.
And I ain't had nothing missing. I had every dollar, card, license in that wallet. I said, man, if I was back in the States, I know I would. I probably got the wallet back. It wouldn't have had no
Yeah,
money in it though.
a little bit empty.
Yeah, but I respect Singapore a whole lot more after that, man. I was like, man, I definitely got to come back here.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, it was, man. That's a story I'll never forget. I'm like, yo, so y'all ain't took nothing. I'm looking around, like, I'm looking at my wallet, looking around, like, man, this ain't normal. But over there it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, nah, that's crazy over there. That's crazy. We need like stuff like that to happen over here, everywhere.
Yeah, man. A lot of people ain't genuine no more and don't got kind hearts. I don't know, man. Everybody envy of each other and, jealous.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, Pete, man. Who would be the dream collaboration artist you would like to work with?
Babyface, Kurt Franklin. Babyface, Kurt Franklin, and I'm gonna say Music Soul Child. I always say music, so I love music. But those three right there be, and I know Beyonce,
Oh yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
that
how I
that one
forget
definitely
that.
gonna do numbers, man. The Beehive.
Yeah, yeah, Beyonce.
Yeah, you just said you had worked with Raheem Devon, man.
Hmm.
How did that happen? How did that
Man, so one of my boys, Art Chris, shout out to Art Chris. He used to be with the colleagues. He sent them over some beats. And one day he called me and said he's going crazy. I'm just waking up because at the time I was working and I just worked overnight. So I'm still sleepy. Like, yeah, 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 yeah. Raheem Devon, he hit me up about one of the beats. What? Who is Raheem Devon? So I wasn't too, fond of his music like that. And so he said, I gave him your number. He's going to call you. All right. So right around the same time, my brother was like, me and my brother get on the phone. My brother was just like, you need to work with Raheem Devon. Man, our Chris was just saying that he just hit us up. Man, you need to work with him. You need to work with him. I was like, okay, well, I'll see. And then I go to the barbershop. This all happened right around the same time. Go to the barbershop and I'm hearing what was Bulletproof, and I thought it was Marvin Gaye. So I tell my barber like, "Yo, is that a new remix from Marvin Gaye or something?" He says, "Nah, man, it's Raheem Devon." I'm like, "Bruh, this is crazy." So then I get to work. I'm working overnight, and I get a call from an LA number, and it's still his number to this day. And he called, so I go in the room. I don't know who it is. I pick it up. He's like, "Yo, this Raheem Devon. I got one of your beats. I just want to say, I killed it, and I want you to hear it, and I just want to know what your numbers are." And he was. This happened around the same time that the Nipsey dropped, like same week, same month. So he was looking at me like I charged this high amount because I was on this Nipsey project, and I'm looking at him like, you know, I ain't even making that much. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, if you work with me on the numbers, I promise you I'll always keep you involved in anything I got going on. And I did. I looked out for him and gave him a fair amount. I mean, I ain't try to hit him over the head or nothing like that. Uh, and it ended up being Black Ice Cream was the first one we ever did together, and we did four on that album. But it started a brotherhood. Like I I hit up Raheem on a regular just to tell him thank you, because he's been a huge blessing to me in my career, and he's been a silent partner, or silent, what's the word I'm looking for? He's been a common denominator in a lot of the things that's happened in my career that people won't be able to put together, and I'd be like, well, this kind of started with him. It kind of started with him on this too, and things that he don't get a lot of credit for with my career, but I give him the credit for in person. But yeah, that was one of the not one. This is probably the biggest blessing I've had in this music industry is meeting him, because he's definitely looked out for me in more ways that I could even mention.
Yeah, man. I grew up listening to him. He used to have the Quiet Storm.
He
So
got the Quiet Storm right
Raheem.
now. He got the Quiet. Actually, and my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. He's doing the Quiet Storm right now on the radio station out there in DC, which you can listen to it everywhere. I don't want to get the station wrong, but it's on his page. But he has the Quiet Storm right now where he's hosting. So that's a big deal for him.
That's dope. Cause like growing up, in South Carolina, we used to have that back in the day. It used to be the Quiet Storm, and he used to be one of the artists. He used to always play. So like getting, what I'm saying, getting ready for bed. I have my little boom box playing the radio, and he was one of the artists I listened to, man.
Yeah, see, when he popped, there's a time of my life when I was so '05 is when he kind of made his name, '04, '05, something like that. And at that time, I'm just now getting into the music industry, and I'm in the South, and all we care about is crunk music, and all we care about is snap music. I wasn't listening to no neo soul music at all. All I'm listening to is Lil Jon, Young Bloods, Wayne, you know, them niggas was popping. Ti, that's all I care about. So neo soul was just like right over me, and it wasn't until except for Music Soul Child, and that's because Music Soul Child popped a few years before that. But anything that happened around that time with neo soul, was kind of oblivious to it because I was so big on what was happening in my area. So now as I go back and be like, wow, Raheem was popping. Oh wow, I can name all kind of neo soul artists. I'm like, damn, they was doing their thing back then, but I wasn't listening to it.
And it was just the where we was growing up at, man, down south. Like up north, they already was on it.
Yeah, exactly,
We just
exactly.
had to catch
So
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Dwele and all them, like they was popping, but I just wasn't really on it back then. So, but yeah, anything that was in the South that was popping around, that was a big time for the South. Young Buck, man, it
Oh
was a
yeah.
lot going on, man. So
Every time
yeah,
Lil Jon, yeah,
man,
okay.
and that's what I wanted my sound to be like. I was like, I want to be like Lil Jon, like keep it simple. And yeah, man, that was a great time right there.
Yeah, man. That when all the fights used to be in the club.
Man,
We throwing
man.
bowls on. I'm like, God, here we go.
Yep,
DJ done start a
yep,
fight up.
yep.
Your song Crazy, man. Your latest single Crazy featuring the baby and Kyle. How did that come about?
So Kyle Demi is my engineer as well, and he was pursuing being an artist as well at one point, and he kind of left it alone. He was doing a lot of alternative R&B before it was alternative R&B, you know. But I used to always tell him like, man, you got to start recording again. You got to start recording again. And he had this song with the baby, and he just never put it out. And I would always listen to it. And I'd be like, we need to do another version. I want to do my own version to it, you know, and then we can put it out. And he was like, all right, I'm not doing nothing with it. And then we ended up just, you know, he sent me the files. I went ahead and boom, 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 cooked it up. And then it led to us talking about let's do a whole project together. You know what I mean? So with me and Kyle. So that's pretty much how it came about. It was one of his records, and I just basically took it. It was like, can I just drop this and then make it my record now since you're not doing nothing with it? And he was fine. And then after I did it, he was inspired so much. He was just like, let's just go ahead and just do a whole project. I'm like, let's do it. And we just finished it. So it's pretty dope. It's going to be coming out soon. We about to start mixing it. So it's coming out really great.
That's what's up. 'Cause when I first heard it, I was like, "Ooh, yeah, that was dope." And I already know the situation Baby was talking about on there, you know, with the little play. Like, dang.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And that's what's crazy is, you know, we all can relate to that. And me and Kyle definitely, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, this is perfect. You know, and I found, you know, I put a little skit at the end, like a little arguing skit or something that I had heard, and I was like, oh, I gotta add this to the song. So it just everything just kind of made sense on it. And we still might do a remix, might throw another artist on there or something like that. We haven't figured out who, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be. It's the first single off the project though. And the project's gonna be called Jaded.
What advice would you give a young producer, man? What would you tell him or her?
Stay the course. Stay the course. There's going to be a lot of things, situations that's going to try to get you off of course, what you're trying to do. That's going to take you out here, take you out there. But you have to stay the course. You know, I hate when I talk to people that know what they want, but then every time a little hiccup or something happens, they say, I can't do this anymore. I got to take a break. I got to da 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 da, and then they try to come back later on, and then another thing happens and they got to take another break. And it's just like, do you think that these people that you see that are in a position where you want to be didn't go through anything and didn't have any hiccups or anything like that? We all have. So it's kind of like you gotta persevere through all of that, you know. So it's kind of like you just have to learn to stay the course. No matter what happens, stay the course. No matter who falls off, stay the course, you know. And I should be saying keep showing up, you know, no matter who falls off, keep showing up. No matter how you feel, keep showing up. And keep showing up isn't you giving 110% every single day, because 100% looks different every single day. Some days it's like all I have is this right here, and that's 100%. That's fine. And they keep showing up the next day. All I have is this today, and that's fine. Keep showing up, you know. And I look back at my career, not one moment defines my career. It's the thing of I continue to show up year after year. This year will be my 21st year in the music industry. And I just showed up, showed up, showed up, showed up. Not one moment makes me. So that's why I try to tell people you got to persevere. You got to push through whatever it is that you're going through if you're trying to get there. And before you know it, you look back up and be like, how did I get here? I kept going. And you look at the people that started with you and now they sales agents and they're selling insurance and they selling this and they doing that, and it's just like nothing wrong with that, but a lot of them are doing that because they couldn't just keep pushing forward. They didn't see how they could make it to the other side. So that's my advice.
So if people want to listen to your music, how could they do that?
The Colleagues on all streaming platforms. Just type in The Colleagues, TheColleagues. The Colleagues. I got 7 albums out. I got a couple R&B albums. I got a rap album. I got an album with Raheem Devon and my boy Vandell Andrews, a jazz R&B album. I got a dance album out, like more house music. So you can find all the music on there.
But KP, man, I appreciate you for coming to chill and vibe. I know you're a busy person, man. You got to get back to work. But before we go, let everybody know what we doing.
We chilling and we vibing.
Appreciate you, boss.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, bro.